Hey guys, Nathan here with Coastline Micro, and today I have a little bit more of a niche video for you. Today I'm going to be unboxing and showing the setup process for one of our systems that we put together here for our video recording systems. And I'm going to show you the unboxing process, the setup process, and then also I'm going to go over some general standardized troubleshooting options in case when you receive your box that some certain somebody when they got it sent over kind of jostled your package around a little bit and made things not work the way they're supposed to. So without further ado, I'm going to show you a couple of things here when it comes to the unboxing. So depending on the type of system that was purchased, you're either going to have one box, which is just this guy right here, which is going to be the computer itself. And if not, you're going to have a secondary box. This secondary box here is going to have all of your hard drives in it that we ship separately just in case due to the volume of drives that are in it that make this a little bit unsafe in terms of transportation. So I'm going to open this guy up here and I'm going to show you what it looks like inside. So you may have a piece of work order or something that will show you how many drives you're to expect, but inside of this guy, you'll find the number of drives for this particular system. There's 8. Each one of them are individually labeled with the label on the drive themselves, and as well, you take it out here, you'll see it's also got a sticker on it as well that'll show you which drive number corresponding, and I'll show you how to plug those in momentarily here. After that, you're going to have this guy here that you're going to want to unbox. After you've gotten these and confirm your number of drives, you're going to have this guy here. So you go ahead and open this up, and you're going to have 2 things in here that are going to be important. Number 1, the computer, and number 2 is going to be your utilities box here. So if I take this guy here and open it up, I'm going to have a couple of things here. You're going to have some documentation for the motherboard for the system, and you're going to have some other key components for it. You're going to have your power cord here. You're going to have the adapter here for a HDMI to DisplayPort out. And then you're going to have these little guys. Now, these guys are for the GPU controller to plug into this guy. I'll show you how all that works momentarily here as well. You have your Wi-Fi connector here, and then additional screws. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to need these, but in case you need them, we include them in the box. So from there, you got a couple of pieces of foam down here that you're going to take out. You're going to take 1 and 2. Now, because I'm setting it up on my bench and I'm not installing it like you guys would typically be doing, I'm going to take this foam and I'm going to set it on the bench, and then I'm going to take the system out and show you how to set it up. So take these 2 guys here, set this down as kind of a little soft barrier, and remember, lift with your legs, not with your back. Take this guy out, have a little foam drop. Now, we're going to come right here. Now, system's going to be wrapped in a little baggie like this. So it's really simple to take it out. Just shuffle this back a little bit, hug it, bring it over to a flat surface, stand it up like so, pull this guy off, and put it back into the box. From here, I'm going to take this system, and again, you're going to want this little keyhole to be facing on the upward side. So I'm going to take this, move it to here, and set it down like so. Now, before we start plugging in any of the connectors, I'm going to get the drives installed into the bays. So you're going to twist this guy here and let it drop. You'll see there's 2 empty slots right in here. Obviously, those aren't being used for this particular configuration, but could be in the future, so we keep them labeled. And then you have your 8 empty slots for this particular system. So I'm going to take this box here. I'm going to set these aside. I'm going to start taking these out one by one. Now, typically, you're going to have a little piece of tape that's going to kind of hold these shut, but for video purposes, so I don't have to sit here with a knife and cut every one of them, we just slip them into the bag, and when we ship this out, we'll put the tape on them. So I've got drive number 8. When it comes to installing these guys, they're going to come out of the box like this. You're going to want to come in under, there's a little blue tab right underneath, press that blue tab, let this guy pop up. You're then going to grab this guy, and you're going to see these little guide rails on the side here. You want to line up your drive into those guide rails, find it, make sure it slides nice and smooth so that you're not catching anything you shouldn't be. Push it in, and as long as you're getting flush to here, press this guy in until you hear a click. Very simple installation, and you're going to just do that until you've filled all of the drive bays here. Make sure that as you're filling them, you keep an eye on the numbering for it so that you fall in line with what's recommended. Obviously, if you already have, say, like we have here, 9 and 10, you're going to know the order you're going to count backwards from 10. But if you have none of them involved, you're always going to do left to right in terms of fill order. So 1 through 10, left to right. Now, the next step is going to go as follows. Now, for the system here, I obviously have everything wired up with power, but what you would do next is you're going to grab your power cord, you're going to take it out of the bag. Really simple process. Take it out. There's a little twist tie on it. Remove said twist tie, install it into power, and plug it in. Now, my recommendation is instead of just immediately installing the system in its desired location for final installation, you find a place that has power and plug it in and set it up. And that way you have the ability to check the system before it's been fully installed in its final location. That way, in case you need to do any troubleshooting or the system's not functioning properly, you're not trying to work in whatever tiny cabinet or location that you're in for all your wiring to be in and plugged into, say, whatever apparatus you're using for the camera system. So once you'll do that, so you get it plugged into power. If you have a hardwire access nearby where you're at or need to connect to Wi-Fi, you'll plug this guy in. And then you've got these two here. Now, the system, and I'll show you here real quick, it's very simple. This particular one, we have a dongle plugged in here to the HDMI port for the onboard video. Now that's important because any remote access for this particular system needs to have some kind of video adapter plugged into it ahead of time. That way, if any technician needs to log into the system, this guy needs to make sure it's plugged into the onboard video. So for what you're going to be doing, you're going to be plugging in to this area right here. So you're going to find yourself an HDMI cable, or if you happen to have a DisplayPort cable that goes to some kind of monitor, it's very simple. If you need an HDMI cable, there's an adapter that has HDMI to a DisplayPort output, and then you're going to use one of these guys here. Now, one of these guys is really simple. You're going to crack open the package like such, or if you're smarter, you'll use a blade. Take this guy here, and this guy will attach to the adapter on this end here. So you'll want to line up spacing on the side. So you see how the different types of connectors are the way they are here. You want to connect those guys together here. And there's a clip on the end right here that's going to secure it into here. If you come back to here, you'll see it doesn't matter which port that you plug it into, but you just want to plug this end into one of these ports. Now we're going to pretend that this side is plugged into an HDMI cable. But I'm going to go ahead and set the system up on my side here, and then I'll get back and show you the startup process for the system. Now that I've got pretty much everything plugged in here minus my power cord, you'll see that I've got my DisplayPort plugged into the GPU down here on the bottom. I've got my mouse, my keyboard, and I've got my internet plugged in right here. Now, your configuration might look a little bit different than what ours looks like, but just refer back to your instructions per the installation method that you guys are following and figure out what's going to work best for your installation. Make sure again that you're ready for this system to power on before you plug the power cord on. This particular system is set that once it's received power, that it's going to turn on immediately after receiving power. So without ado, I'm going to go ahead and plug that in so you can hear what it sounds like when it starts up. So you'll hear an initial beep that'll let you know that the drives are plugged in, the drive canisters are reading the system, and it's going to turn on here momentarily. But you want to be hearing for that final post beep that'll come through here momentarily once it's finished its boot cycle. Small little beep right there, and that's letting us know that the system has posted. Now, if you'll come over here, take a look at the screen here, this guy's going to slowly go through its startup process. Now, this particular system has little to no setup because once it leaves our shop, it's ready to be installed and ready to go at your site. But again, we're here just to make sure that the system is posting and that you're able to work right into the operating system. And we're going to check and make sure that you can see the drives in the system. And I'll show you exactly how to do that. So once you're in the system here, you should be seeing this kind of a window popping up on your screen here. If for whatever reason you're unable to see certain things about it, one of the most important things to remember is that we have a dongle plugged into the onboard video. We also have our system plugged into the GPU. Sometimes with that happening, we don't always get the full video on our side. We may get what's called the second screen. In order to fix that, you're going to press the Windows and P button, and you're going to check here where it's going to show PC screen, duplicate, extend, and second screen only. Currently, it's recognized as PC screen only because right now it's showing us just from the GPU. But if you are in a situation where you are seeing only the second screen and it's showing the other monitor, you would come down to duplicate and click that guy right here. That way, the screen that we see here would be the same as the screen that's seen on the small dongle that's plugged into the onboard video. From here, we're going to navigate down to the Windows button on the bottom middle of the system here. We're going to click that. We're going to type in disk and then management. And it's going to pop up this window right here. So this is our C drive. This is our bootable. This is not really what we're looking for. We're looking for this drive right here, the Video E. We want to make sure it shows healthy and that you're not having any issues with the system. Once you've verified that this is here, you can go ahead and perform a proper shutdown of the system by hitting the Windows button, clicking the power button, and hitting shut down, and removing the system from the testing location and put it in its final installation location. Unless you're having issues, there is nothing further to go through from here. At this point though, I'm going to show you some troubleshooting methods of some things that may happen during shipping or other situations as such.